Honestly, tattooing in Tamil Nadu is amazing. Like, I think I have so many female clients. Nobody cares. Yeah, I look at it in a positive light. I think I have an advantage because I'm a woman and perhaps a disadvantage because I'm a woman. But I've heard of people say things like, oh, she dresses that way and then she gets clients or whatever, whatever. This guy was, he came and he got like about 5, 6 tattoos. And then later on, he came and he brought his boyfriend. I feel like men are complete wusses. Like they're babies when it comes to tattooing. They feel the pain so much easier. Not all men. If you're a new and upcoming artist, I really suggest you apprentice with a shop, grow with a shop for a couple of years. You can't go from 0 to 100 overnight. If you have a cheaper tattoo and if you've gone through that experience, which a lot of my clients come and they're like, I got this done. Can you change it? No, I can't change it. It's very difficult to change unless you give me a big canvas. As an artist, like, what were these people thinking? I mean, and you're charging like maybe 2,000, 1,000 rupees. You're ruining the person's life and skin forever. I think you should be careful and you should know what you're paying for. I'm not saying I'm the best artist. I'm sure there are better artists than me and, they charge more than me.
Malika,
Hi.
hi. Tell me about yourself and your journey.
That's a very open-ended question.
Yeah, it is very open-ended question.
Um, my journey is, I guess I have so many journeys. Do we have only one journey? I don't know. In Chennai, in regards to the tattoos, I guess my journey has started in 2013 when my sister wanted to open a tattoo studio, but she had a terminal disease and she passed away. And so I started the studio in regards to everything that she loved. So she loved dogs. And I think part of my healing process was to acquire and adopt a lot of rescue dogs. And I was in Chennai because she was born in Chennai. And somehow I think I got stuck here. I always say stuck here. I think I should change that word because I guess destiny is where you're meant to be. Or where you're meant to be is destiny. So in the sense, she loved dogs, she loved tattoos, she was born here, she loved the beach. So I ended up somehow manifesting and creating this reality of mine that's right now there. So my studio basically runs my household, it runs my babies, feeding and taking care of my dogs. It helps in that. And also, it's probably one of the most peaceful um, jobs for me because when you're tattooing, you can't think of anything else but the work.
See, the journey is like, okay, then daily you have to wake up and get inspired by something, right?
Yeah.
To do art. That too, it is very, like, sometimes it is monotonous. Sometimes you have creative blocks. So, what inspires you on those moments?
Honestly, I think inspiration comes from within. And in my case, sometimes just seeing what I've achieved is inspiring. Sometimes, and that also you get when you've achieved something and you continue to achieve. I always say that in my case, my dogs, my mom used to inspire me so much. Um, Today, I feel like in regards to waking up every morning and doing art, well, it's honestly therapy for me. So in that case, it's not really like a question of whether it's inspiring. It's literally like it's therapy. Art is therapy. So I yearn to come and do tattoos, even though I'm trying to do multiple things and I'm trying to grow other businesses and heart of hearts, I'm an entrepreneur. Um, I love business, but in regards to the tattoo studio, I have honed it as such a homestead, like a place where you come and any client that comes in feels like it's their home. It's on ECR, so it's a little bit farther away from the city. But at the same time, it kind of like anybody who's walked in has loved it. Very few people have been confused about it because they feel like it looks like a living room or someone's house. And that's the vibe that I was going for in any case. So this part of my life is not really, it's not just work or business. It's also peace of mind and passion and stuff like that. So, but I'm trying to actually, that's not always a good thing because I'm trying to get out of that and run it a little bit more organized and like a business. So that's the next challenge.
Let's talk about something else now. So when it comes to women in India, already women are going through so many things. So, like you are into a business which is already a taboo.
Yeah.
So, like women and tattoo. So, how Indians or in people in Tamil Nadu perceive it?
Honestly, tattooing in Tamil Nadu is amazing. Like, I think I have so many female clients. Nobody cares. The things that they do care about, of course, are say tattooing somebody's name, a lover or a boyfriend's name. That's a big, like, obviously. But I think that would cross any border, right? Why would you? I don't believe you should tattoo anybody's name unless you're absolutely sure. And even then, you become like what Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder, that tattoo winnow forever. Like it's always gonna be there on you. So um in Chennai, though, women are very, very keen on tattooing. So tattooing for women in South India, I feel I don't think it's such a taboo. At least in my studio, I have so many women coming in. In fact, they have a lot higher pain tolerance and they have a lot more individual designs. Of course, like I said, the main issue is always when it's like a name of a lover or a boyfriend. That's when I'm a little bit worried because you never know.
So, actually, we thought it's the different like thing, like still a taboo and thing. But as a person in the industry, when you tell it, it's not.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, I think women maybe they get smaller tattoos, but I feel like the number of tattoos is way more. Some of the bigger tattoos also have been female clients, and they're always individual designs. They're really thought out. They're not just coming in blind. So I don't think there is no taboo with women in regards to laughing Buddha tattoo studio.
Okay. So regarding this, now taboo is out of the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, as a woman in this industry, what are the unique challenges you face? What are or do you have any advantage or disadvantages?
See, I look at it in a positive light. I think I have an advantage because I'm a woman, and perhaps a disadvantage because I'm a woman. In the sense, as a woman, I have a lot more ease with customer handling and customer relations. The studio as well, reaches a different set of audience. When you're tattooing, you're a tattoo in different positions and stuff. So I have gone through things where nobody's come and told me to my face, but I've heard of people say things like, oh, she dresses that way and then she gets clients or whatever, whatever. But that's just ridiculous. I mean, every female tattoo artist has to put herself in a position where she has to tattoo a particular way. I'm not going to just cover up and wear. I don't know. I don't understand this concept. I mean, I heard even in Bombay, there are certain tattoo studios where the schools don't allow women to come dressed in the way they want to come. They have to be dressed very demure and come in. But the whole idea of tattooing is self-expression, right? So it's not about going and attracting the other sex or trying to get some, I don't know, pleasure or attention out of it. It is just who you are. For example, I am a Canadian girl living in India, and I'm not going to change years of what I was brought up with to suit a culture that anyways is changing. I mean, it's very hypocritical, right? So in that ways, yeah, sometimes it feels a little bit of a pinch, but it's not nothing ever that is going to take me back. It only pushes me forward. Women are only coming in who are empowered. I attract both male and female clients who are in the same kind of mindset as I am. So that's beautiful, I think. And in terms of an advantage, I think that as a female artist, because there are so few female artists in the industry, I think that itself is an advantage, right? Because so many people there is now a demand for women who want to be tattooed by a female artist. And then apart from that, there is another demand for people wanting to be tattooed by a particular artist. So it's no longer just this studio, it is also this studio, and I want to get tattooed by Mallika, or I want to get tattooed by Karti, who's my other artist. So that's how it is.
Since you said that there are only few women in this like artistic way of tattooing, do you have any inspiration as like
Yeah,
from like
I
a woman artist?
do. I do. I have it's such a cliched inspiration, and everybody could probably guess it, but I love Kat Von D. Like, I don't know. I think she is a perfect culmination of um, talent as well as branding, and also then, talent as well as branding, and then also expansion of her businesses. I don't know when I or if I will ever get there, but like, she is a brilliant tattoo artist who has really learned how to push her name out there, and I think she is above all a big inspiration. Maybe.
So, considering like whatever we say in certain end, tattooing is like modern tattooing. I'm talking about it. It's still a taboo in a lot of places in India. So, do you do you see it is changing a lot as like accepting the tattoos in a way and an artistic way also?
In my studio and in many other tattoo studios, not just mine, I think every age group has been tattooed, especially in Chennai. I have was part of a studio as well as now with my own studio. Um, I've seen and I have also myself tattooed a great grandfather of somebody's. You know what I mean? A great grandmother of somebody. So it's really beautiful to see Chennai. I think Chennai has that perfect uh, growth in regards to tattoo appointments and tattoo appreciation. Yeah, appreciation of the tattoo business. Like the appreciation of the tattoo business here is, I feel, probably very steady and growing. Of course, when you say Bangalore and all, you have a much higher demand. But in Chennai, like I see it growing every single year. I think there are over 800 artists in this city, and that many studios probably, which is not the right way to go. Ideally, everybody should band together and work together and, create units with artists, but every artist wants their own studio. So you're talking about each artist managing to run their studio and run their house and, whatever, make profit out of it. So I think it's only growing.
Talk about your memorable client and unforgettable instance in your tattooing life.
Okay. I mean, memorable client. Okay.
Well, you can say clients.
Clients, yeah, okay, that's too many. But I'll tell you about a memorable thing, obviously, that happened is the large tattoo that I have on my body, the peacock, the Kalamkari peacock. It happened very graciously because of another artist who recommended me um, to the artist Gauri Shankar that did my tattoo. And um, I'm really grateful for that opportunity because I had no idea. And when I was stepping in, I really thought it was only going to be the size of my thigh because they said it's going to be a large tattoo. And I said, oh, okay. And I thought a large tattoo meant my thigh size. But when I got there to the convention and you had the great tattoo artists of India all, judging and watching and looking at you, I was like, oh, okay, so let's put the stencil on. And they put the stencil on, and it's like all the way from my top of my shoulder all the way to my ankle. And I was like, okay. And my mom was watching it, I remember, live on Instagram, and she just called me like 30 times and she was like, I will disown you. And it was like almost unimaginable, right? That you would go and get a tattoo. And I kept asking him, how long is this going to take? And he's like, I'm going to try to complete it within the weekend. So you didn't really think, I was like, oh, okay, that means it shouldn't be that long. Turned out to be 65 hours and a lot of pain and a lot of painkillers. So it was insane. It was probably the most memorable experience as part of being a part of the studio. In regards to clients, I always find the memorable ones, um, the ones that come back, the ones that can't stop getting more tattoos. I feel like it becomes an addiction to some people. And I had this one client who came and then got a bunch of smaller tattoos on himself. He was very young. He was 21 or 20 maybe, and he was, you know, sort of like going through a phase where he was trying to find out about himself. And I had never questioned or judged his appearance or his behavior, because you don't do that as a tattoo artist. You kind of accept everybody, whoever comes in through those doors, as long as they're being decent, they will be served, you know. So this guy was, he came and he got like about 5, 6 tattoos. And then later on, he came and he brought his boyfriend and they got their first like couple tattoo, which was the thumbprint, which is a complete gimmick, by the way. The thumbprint tattoo, there is no real thumbprint tattoo, because tattoo lines merge. And when tattoo lines merge, as you age, as your skin, expands and contracts, uh, the whole thing smudges and it swooshes. Anybody who has had a tattoo knows that over time the lines blur. So, but anyways, it was more about the sentiment that counted, and I just loved that moment, and I thought that that was so beautiful to see. And then they kept coming back for 2 years. They kept coming back and getting more tattoos, and some of the best pieces of work I've ever done are on them.
So, do you think women express differently via tattoos than men?
Oh yeah, they're way stronger. Like, I feel like men are complete wusses. Like, they're babies when it comes to tattooing. They feel the pain so much easier. Not all men, but generally. Whereas with women, I feel like generally speaking, they'll feel the pain, and then gradually after the first 15 minutes, they'll start to take the pain. They'll start to accept it and push through it. And I think that is a very interesting trait, anyways, about men and women.
So, how do you view tattoos as an art? Is it a rebellion? It gives an identity.
I mean, I think tattoos are everything, right? They are a bit of rebellion, but at the same time, they are a stand, a voice, an expression, right? Self love for a lot of people, self hate for some people. I think because it's art and because it's engraved on your body or injected into under your skin, um, and because it becomes a part of you and who you are for life, I feel like for that reason alone, tattoos are kind of rebellious awareness.
Let's talk about some empowerment in like fancy word. So,
Oh, I have to also say one more thing.
yeah,
Tattoos are also affirmations. And you find a lot of like healers and all say, don't, like a lot of people come and get sigils tattooed. Sigils are like amulets and energy portals for what you want to happen. So there's a sigil for love, there's a sigil for wealth, there's a sigil for health and happiness or whatever, all these different things. And a lot of them say don't tattoo them because sometimes the meaning of that sigil has to keep changing. And a lot of people get them tattooed. Similarly, I have seen so much successes with affirmations tattooed and even sigils tattooed. I mean, even though it's a big that is a taboo apparently in the spiritual world or the world of like manifestation and spirituality. Apparently, it is not very recommended. But I have noticed that whenever people get words or whatever they get tattooed on them, that ends up becoming a part of an affirmation for their life. Yes. So I always say, like tattoo good stuff. Don't tattoo bad things.
if at all a young artist coming up, they wanted to be a tattoo artist, they got integrating like men or woman, doesn't matter. So, what is the one? Not advice. Like, what is the one piece of mind you'll give them?
I would say apprentice and stick to one studio and grow with that one studio. I always tell new artists this, there is a new tattoo studio opening up every single week. It is so hard for everyone to make it, basically. It's not easy to run an entire shop. So if you want to be an artist, focus on being an artist, focus on also learning how businesses run, There are days when nobody comes in. There are days when you are overflooded with clients. So you have to learn how to deal with all of that along with knowing how to do the art. If you're a new and upcoming artist, I really suggest you apprentice with a shop, grow with a shop for a couple of years. You can't go from 0 to 100 overnight, and you can try and make it happen, but it's quite hard. And it's always good when you have a team of people going together.
So personally, how do you approach your process of tattooing? Like each artist will have an approach, right?
My approach is generally to listen to the client and what their ideas are. I want to know more about who they are, what they do, what makes them tick, what are their belief systems, especially before designing a tattoo, I feel. When I'm doing a tattoo, my process is just generally to make sure that they drink a lot of water and have enough sugar in their blood so they don't faint. Because that happens a lot in tattoo studios, especially these days, because people tend to not eat and come for a tattoo. Guys, eat food and come for a tattoo because it is so difficult to handle a situation like that. Luckily, I have Karti. We'll show you Karti soon. And maybe we can have a picture of Karti somewhere in the corner. I have Karti and he can lift up anybody. But when it was on my own, I used to be like, guys, eat food and come. So eat food, drink a lot of water, get your, skin nicely prepped. I always say put cream 4 5 hours before and nicely get the skin prepped for the tattoo session. But in regards to design, yeah. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you believe in, and then we'll come up with a concept and a design. Do you like thin lines? Do you like thick lines? There's so much to ask. Personally speaking, I always suggest to the client what is clean and what will look classic in the long run, because at the end of the day, tattoos are for life and you have to always remember that. But that does not mean you take hours to make a decision. It is an impulsive kind of move as well. Just choose the right artist.
Do you believe that tattoos are like healing or therapeutic?
Absolutely.
And have you seen it work?
I have seen the craziest things with tattoos. Like I told you with the affirmations, one of my clients was having a lot of issues in regards to finding somebody to get married to and fall in love and all of that. And she came and got a sigil. And I kid you not, last year, around December, or not even December, I think this year around Feb, I happened to just stumble upon her neighborhood, and she's married with two beagle. And she was just like, she came to me and she's like, oh my God, it worked. And I said, really? Did it? And she's like, yeah, I mean, he's not perfect, but it worked. So that was one of the things. And then I've had a lot of other clients who come in. I have another client, Dilip. He loves that his name is being used in this. He is such a special character and he comes from Kerala and he would come and get a tattoo every time he wanted a promotion. Because he used to believe that every time he comes here, he'll get a tattoo and then he'll get promoted. So that's a self believing prophecy that he made come true. I have another story I'll tell you right. There was a girl who came in and she had a lot of anxiety and she wanted to get a tattoo done that gave her hope. And she was like, I'm the eldest sister and I have to always take care of everything. And now I'm going to Germany and I have this opportunity to grow and leave. And you could tell that she was the elder sister who was always stressed out and had to be the perfect one in the family. And I get that because I used to be the elder sister. So she went to Germany and she came back for her third tattoo, and she was a different girl. And she came and she told me, she's like, you know what, I've completely changed and this and that. And she gave me a whole array of how she's become so much more daring. And I listened to everything that you had said. And, I really think the hope came alive. I have a lot of stories with the tattoo hope, actually. Many clients with that tattoo have had amazing amazing stories to tell me after the next time whenever I meet them.
What does freedom mean to you as a person and as an artist?
I don't really, I think freedom is,
Like, is it a way that art is a way for freedom or pathway that they can indulge and express themselves whatever they want? Is that
so
what you're asking?
art is, art is, but tattoos aren't, right? Because tattoos are technically, I mean, yes, for those clients who want you to really go all out there and design something out of this world, for them, yes, maybe there is a lot of scope for that freedom. But the reality is that tattooing is a very strenuous form of practice and repeat, practice and repeat. So it's all about, your hand and how steady it is, and the design is there, and it doesn't really, you're not, if you're a good artist, you can be a good tattoo artist, but a great tattoo artist is somebody who understands lines, who understands that you can't just go all freehand and do whatever you want. There are certain rules and there is a certain way of doing something. Each artist has their own way of doing it, and their own process, as we discussed. But it's not like, I mean, maybe when you're tattooing, you're free because you can't think about anything else. But then are you really free? Because then you're only thinking of the tattoo. So I'm in a very existential space at this point because I've been going through a personal tragedy. So in my brain, I don't know if anybody is really free at all.
In before for 50 years, there was no taboo. My grandmother used to have like handful of tattoos.
Oh,
Like it was created recently. If at all, there was no taboo at all in India regarding like tattooing. So where will be the industry be? The tattooing industry.
I think we would be probably where Miami and all are, or at least, uh, Thailand, because people love art. Art, I think art may be freedom, as we just said. Where art is freeing because it's a perspective that anyone can have. Trendy tattoos, I don't know about. They make money, but they're also monotonous and they're continuous, and everybody gets them. So I don't know whether that's art, really. Um,
That's production.
That's production, yeah. But at the same time, if we had that kind of freedom to do bigger tattoos and people weren't so, maybe bigger tattoos are the taboo. Smaller tattoos are accepted, but bigger tattoos tend to be more tabooed. Like parents get afraid, right? Like, why are you covering your whole skin? But if that was maybe not there, then I think you would have some beautiful artwork all over, and we'd probably be even, I mean, us with the amount of population we have, we would have probably been much bigger than Thailand or Japan or whatever for tattoos.
So the question here is like we have seen a lot of tattoo, small tattoo artists like popping up here and there with no equipments, proper training or anything. People are flocking to those places because they won't charge that much. What's your take on that?
I mean, really frankly speaking, if you're going to not pay the right price for a tattoo, you're going to get a bad result, or you're going to get a bloating, bleeding tattoo in times to come. So I really believe that if you want to get a tattoo, like, pay the right price, do the research, don't bargain. I mean, I only in India or in the East, I find that there's a lot of bargaining when it comes to tattoos. Whereas if I have Western clients coming in, they will literally give me a tip. You know why? Because in California and San Francisco, there are no tattoo artists available for 2 years. They have to wait for 2 years. My friends are literally telling me, can you please pack up and come here? Because over here, it's the opposite, right? Like people sometimes, not always, like mostly touchwood, when they come to the studio, they know the kind of what they're going to have to expect. Um, and it has nothing to do with anything but hygiene, the right technique, the right needles, better machines, those kind of things, um, safety, all of that matters. So I feel like if you have a cheaper tattoo and if you've gone through that experience, which a lot of my clients come and they're like, I got this done. Can you change it? No, I can't change it. It's very difficult to change unless you give me a big canvas and you tell me, listen, make it big. Yeah, then I can make it disappear and look like something else. A lot of people even come for uh, touch ups or cover ups for botched um, botched name tattoos because of their boyfriends or whatever. So big, like so big on the chest, like right there. As an artist, like what are these people thinking? I mean, and you're charging like maybe 2,000, 1,000 rupees. You're ruining that person's life and skin forever. So, and you can tell that these kind of people, they don't have any responsibility, right? To anybody. They don't care. For them, it's just that one amount, a little bit of money. But I've seen girls come and cry and be like so upset about it. So I think you should be careful and you should know what you're paying for. I'm not saying I'm the best artist. I'm sure they are better artists than me and, they charge more than me, but they are justified in what they're charging, especially if their art is good. So assess your artist.